But anyway, the the technology just made sense to me at a level. I'm pretty informed about how my body feels, so it just registered with me. But there were a few things in my life that I wanted to see if I could affect, and this is where the V, as in Victor, OD comes in, the VOD and God thing. So I want to give you a visual story, an orthopedic story, and a dental story, and I'll be fast about that. But in the visual spectrum, I got diagnosed with some interocular eye pressures increasing. We try not to use diagnosis terms, like the itises and those kind of things. So I'm not saying that. I'm talking about my symptoms. I'm going to get a gold star, right? When they go to the
Well, and
heart,
you can
I'll
need,
take a heart.
if you
I'll take
receive
a
a
heart.
diagnosis, you can,
Yeah.
that's all
But the
right.
visual is that my inner eye pressures had risen to a point that my optic nerve was being damaged. And, I was on a regimen of using eye drops twice a day to try to lower the pressure, the interior pressure, to a range between 10 millimeters and 20 millimeters is kind of normal. So, by God's grace, the eye drops got me down to 15 millimeters after about 17 months of trying. Anyway, the doctor was excited, got me down to 15. That held. And then I went to the doctor in March of this year, and that was 6 months after I started patching. And I had prayed, I said, Lord, I just hope you'll make this happen. And they had dropped a full millimeter to 14. And it surprised my doctor, and I'm a year older, and all those little things that says this isn't what happens. So it was so excited, and that really was what amplified my enthusiasm about this product and this technology and turning this into an income producing business, going forward. So that's the visual, the V part of VOD. The orthopedic thing really was probably more remarkable for me. If I may tell you that I'm not a long distance runner, but there's a special 5K that my church puts on every year to raise money to fight human trafficking, sex slavery, and addictions. And for the previous 5 years, I have just sucked it up, saying that I'm going to run this thing, I'm going to walk it, and I'll just be in misery for a week because I don't have cartilage on the back of my right kneecap, and I haven't had it for 25 years. And so to run a 5K, to walk a 5K, to climb steps, to climb inclines or go down declines, it was not, it wasn't comfortable, but it was worth it because the mission mattered. Saving lives and rescuing women and all that was important. So here we are, year 6, March 29th. I decided to put the test to the patches. I did not wear a brace or sleeve. I did not take ibuprofen before or after, and I did no ice before or after. And 24 hours later, on the Sunday that it would have been, I was able to bend my knee like a stick of gum. And in the years past, it would be stiff. I couldn't bend it more than about 20 degrees. It was just miserable. And here it is bending like a stick of gum. So I hope that's a good visual. Stick of gum. So that's the O of VOD, the orthopedic part. But that really launched me into the enthusiasm that I can help friends that I know play ball that have taken injuries like that. So the last thing I'll close and try to be on time is a dental situation. Years ago, probably 20, I had extractions, just big molars taken out, and I did not replace them. But um, I guess it was about 5 weeks ago, all of a sudden I'm having this miserable pain in my right gum. It was like taking this little big pin and somebody was just kind of jamming it down in that hole. It was miserable. And so I had been using X39 on the back of my neck, or sometimes I would put it on my wrist, but I decided to move it over to the behind my right ear in order to affect, that joint and possibly radiate, if I will, down towards the gums. That turned out to be very helpful. After like 2.5 weeks, I got 4 days of relief, and I said, "All right, I'm on the right hunt here. We're getting close to something." And then a few more days of misery, and then I think it was Monday, 2.5 weeks ago, it just suddenly stopped. I had no more discomfort. I haven't had any more discomfort since then. So, that's what really excited me. And Jennifer might speak to this at some point, but to anybody that hasn't heard the word retracing, it means where you go back, your body goes back and kind of reheals or redoes the healing that it did do. I'm not so sure that's not what happened in my jaw,
Mhm.
because when the teeth were removed, there was little shards of
Mhm.
broken root and things that did come out 20 years ago. But I wondered if there might have been something else in there. And anyway, so I give God the glory, and the VOD story is yours. And thank you for having me. And if I can do anything to help anybody, please let me know.
Wow, Larry, gosh, I love that. That's such an organized fashion. You put everything together in three main areas of your body. Let's start, I guess, with the visual. So the optic nerve, you were starting to have damage there. And how long had you been using the eye drops to keep within normal
That
range?
was in about a 17-month period, and they,
17 months.
yeah,
Okay.
it had been successful because I was over 20 millimeters in both eyes, and that's the risk point. That's when the damage starts. So to get down to the mid range of 15 was the objective and goal of the doctor, and we got there after 17 months.
Wow. And do you still use the eye drops now?
Yeah, my goal is to possibly get away from them,
Okay.
or to reduce by half.
Mhm.
One of them is a little concerning to me, and I would like to just get off of them altogether, but he's not ready to go there yet. And
Yeah.
so we're making progress. But
Okay.
I will say 3 days ago, I went back to him for a checkup, and the 14 millimeters I am holding. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice, nice. Well, and another one of the wonderful things about these patches is that there are no drug interactions. So you can use them while you're using, the eye drops or whatever other modalities. So that is great. And let's see. And that is serious. You don't want the damage to the optic nerve there. So that is nothing you want to mess around with.
It
But
was X39, Jennifer. I'm sorry. I should have been
okay.
more emphatic that it's
Yep.
been mostly X39.
Okay.
When we came into the business, we did get the premium package, so I experimented with a lot of things.
Mhm.
But in the isolation, X39 has been my primary, and
That's
occasionally a
good.
couple others.
All right. Did you wear it behind your neck
I
mostly the
did
whole time?
most of the time. Sometimes I did it under the belly button or on my wrist, just wherever I felt like I needed it that day. The intuition, as you
Yeah, yeah,
described,
I was just
sometimes.
gonna say, use your intuition. Okay, wonderful. And then tell me about the knee pain you had. I can't believe you went that long with that going on and did those walks for the benefit walks. Did you have any plans had that pain not go away? Like what was your long-term
It
plan?
was just, to get along. I really was not concerned about getting arthritis or other, problems. I was just living with it, and I'm pretty fit. I'm not overweight excessively, and I didn't put a lot of stress on it. But my long-term plan was I hoped I wouldn't have to get a knee replacement or something. That was going to be a very tough conversation to have one day. But I wasn't looking at that. I really wasn't. I was just, But the thing that if I may speak to the looking back, we've learned that when our stem cells go into dormancy, in the age of 30s, and then even more so in our 60s, I look back, and in my 30s is when I think the cartilage on the back of my knee cap began to flake off. And, because the elasticity and the collagen is beginning to fail, I think that's why that debris got in that joint and
Hmm.
needed to be removed. And that's where all the cushion, our cartilage is our cushion. So having that extracted, it's bone on bone for 25 years.
Boy, I
Um,
can't believe you lived with it for that long, but
yeah.
praise God, you don't have to anymore. So that
Yes.
is wonderful.
Thank you for watching. And to learn more about this amazing technology, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.